Mavericks 4H Jae S LeeStaff Photographer Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban centered talks with the media in an interview during the media day at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Monday, September 25, 2017. Jae S leaks Dallas Morning News by Eddie Sefko, staff writer at Sefko. If you like your shoe drawer ventilated and your senses invigorated, the Mavericks' new locker room is for you. The bells and whistles in the state-of-the-art dressing quarters at American Airlines Center are plentiful, right down to the blue-lit dots and dashes emanating from beside the championship trophy that spell out Dallas Mavericks in Morse code. Owner Mark Cuban, coach Rick Carlisle, president of basketball operations Donnie Nelson, and a slew of corporate giants were on hand Saturday to unveil the new locker room, which is bathed mostly in white with blue lighting and tons of luxurious touches. The most significant upgrade is in the oxygen system, lighting system in the sense that are pumped into the room. You know me, I'm always about trying to get an edge that will help the Mavs win, so one of the things we looked at was what else we could do to give ourselves an advantage, Cuban said. Having spent too many hours in casinos with Dirk Nowitzki and other players, we noticed that it keeps us up. There are things they did that kept us awake all night long. So we reached out to scientists that reoxygenate the casinos to keep people awake and alert. It pulls out the oxygen, cleans it and reoxygenates it. And we did the same thing with the lighting. There are different types of lights and colors. Mavs' latest free agent recruiting tool, a new locker room with all kinds of high-tech bells and whistles. As for the smells, typical locker room odors are impossible to filter out completely. But certain scents will be used to get maximum alertness out of players. So what brought this on? Cuban and Carlisle said that Nowitzki and Harrison Barnes came to Cuban after the season and suggested some sort of new digs. Carlisle said players recognize commitments like this by owners. Yes, absolutely, Carlisle said. Harrison and Dirk went to Mark after the season and said, "Hey, it's time to spruce this thing up." In less than 2 days, there was an email sent to people who would be impacted the most. The amount of work they got done in a relatively short amount of time is amazing. Mark's history and reputation is Hess very willing to spend to help the players have a better experience and to help the franchise win more games. Hess made another statement with this gesture. This thing started in June. It's a ferment project that normally would take 8 months to a year. There were armies of people in here to make sure it was done in time. Cuban was happy to have kept most of the workforce that renovated the locker room from the North Texas area. He estimated 98% of the people involved were local. Whether or not any of this makes a bit of difference when it comes to wins and losses is debatable, of course. But at the least, the Mavericks locker room now looks and feels as foo-foo as any in the NBA. The actual locker stalls have ventilated shoe drawers, bigger screens for their televisions and laptops, plus spiffy hangers made of metal that have the Dallas skyline carved into them. Cuban declined to give a ballpark figure on how much the renovation cost. Briefly, the Mavericks did not practice on Saturday as they face a busy upcoming week. They play 3 games in 4 days starting Monday in the exhibition opener at OC against Atlanta. Cuban said the Mavericks will have a corporate logo on their uniform jersey this season. He said he has yet to finalize a deal, however. Dennis Smith Jr. will be locker buddies with Harrison Barnes, with Dirk on the other side of Barnes. Bobby Karalla at Bobby Karalla, September 30, 2017. Watch the Mavs.com live stream of the event here.